Hello, my name is David Forbes, and welcome to Showcase 365. This is a podcast where we share interviews, learn about ideas and practices, and give actionable tips to help you and those you support. Today, we are talking with Nancy and Emily from Garrett Morgan High School. They came to Showcase this year with some of their students, and now we are going to discuss how charting the LifeCourse is involved in their pilot program, Project STIR. So we'd love to know a little bit about you for our viewers. If you wouldn't mind sharing, what do you do? What is your profession?
Well, my name is Nancy Cosner, and I am an assistant principal at Garrett Morgan High School. My background is I was a special education teacher and intervention specialist for years. This is my 19th year in the district. So I worked with students with special needs, and then I moved into an administrator role.
And I'm Emily Herner. I'm an intervention specialist here at Garrett Morgan. I'm starting my 4th year teaching here, and I'm also the advisor of our club, Project STIR, here at the school.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. So how did you both first learn about charting the LifeCourse?
So I learned about charting the LifeCourse in our Project STIR training last June of 2024. So the training has incorporated some of the charting the LifeCourse materials into it. So myself and the group of kids we did some of the life trajectory and some of the STAR worksheets.
Yeah, and then I received an email from our Office of Special Education department that I have worked very closely with throughout the years. They've reached out to me and they said, hey, we have this great opportunity for some students. It's mostly has been done with adults, but now we're going to be opening it up to high schoolers. And they asked if my school would be interested in it. And I said, yes, absolutely. So I asked Emily if she would be interested, and she said yes.
Sounds like a really natural and organic exposure to the framework. That's fantastic. So you mentioned your high school, Garrett Morgan. Love to hear a bit more about it. What is your school's major focus?
So our high school, we are grades 9 through 12. We are a school in Cleveland, Ohio. We call ourselves the Gateway to the World. We focus on courses in engineering. We are a college prep school, so we encourage students to continue their education, or we prepare them for the workforce in engineering.
That sounds really cool, and I bet you're really helping set them on a good trajectory for life once they graduate. So you mentioned Project STIR. Would you mind sharing what Project STIR stands for and giving us a brief description?
STIR, it stands for Steps Towards Independence and Responsibility. And it's a training for self-advocacy. It's designed to help people, actually provide people with disabilities with the tools to advocate for themselves, maybe work with others in advocacy, and gain experience in leadership.
I think one of the coolest things about Project STIR training is it is provided by people with disabilities. So you're learning from the trainers with disabilities.
That sounds fantastic. How did you initially get the first trainers set up for your Project STIR program?
So we were looking for leaders in our building with and without disabilities to attend the training. So we were asking teachers and administrators, who do you think will be a good leader with or without a disability to attend this training? So we got a group of about 15 students with and without disabilities, of course, and we took them to this training in June. And at first, they were very shy on day 1, but by day 3, they flourished and they had all become friends, and we just learned a lot, and it was a great experience for everyone.
I love hearing that you have a mixture of students with and without disabilities, really embracing that all concept that we value over the LifeCourse. And speaking of which, how do you see Project STIR aligning with charting the LifeCourse?
Sure. So like I said, the Charting the Life course is a part of the Project Stir training. So we have a blank slate of how we want to run Project Stir as a club at our high school. So we've started to dip our toes into Charting the Life course and just incorporating it into our meetings. So we use the life trajectory to start mapping that out individually, and we present it to each other, what we want out of life, what do we not want out of life. And it was just really refreshing because students became really vulnerable, and we were able to see exactly what they wanted, people with disabilities and without. In IEPs, individualized education plans, students with disabilities have the opportunity to look at these things. They get to see if they want to live independently after high school and if they want to go to college. Using Charting the Life course has been really exciting because students without disabilities are also looking at that, some of them for the first time. So that was really exciting.
That sounds like a really fantastic integration, using Project Stir and Charting the Life course's strengths to kind of complement each other and push things ahead for your students. So what did the pilot program entail for Project Stir?
Do you want to go ahead and start since you started it?
Sure. So for the pilot program, we did the initial 3 days of training over the summer in 2024. We then on day 3 had to decide how we wanted to take what we learned and bring it to Garrett Morgan. We all sat in a circle and decided, who do we want to be in this club? What do we want to accomplish? What are we doing at our meetings? How often are we meeting? And we thought it was really important to come up with a mission statement to guide what our club is going to be like. Do you want to say the mission statement?
So I just need to, we have a mission statement, and it says our club is dedicated to advocacy, empowerment, and inclusion. We strive to be the voice for those who need support, especially individuals with disabilities, while also educating ourselves and others on essential life skills. As the first high school club of its kind, we are committed to creating a culture of understanding, respect, and action, where every voice matters and every person belongs.
That is a really impactful mission statement. And I can see the benefit of that. That lines a lot with Charting the Life course as well. How much input did students have on that mission?
Students have driven this club through and through. So they are the ones coming up with the mission statement. They came up with what we're doing at meetings and what they want the club to look like. So we are just a resource for them. We are helping them and guiding those conversations that they're having, but they are the true leaders.
And it's amazing to see how these students from just, because most of them are juniors and seniors. So to watch them as freshmen and sophomores, just being like introverts, not having leadership skills, not that self-advocacy, just going kind of almost like through the motions of high school. After becoming part of this program, it's like they came out of their shells. Mm-hmm. They're talking to everyone. Mm-hmm. They're helping other people. It's like they are becoming that they're the leaders in the school. Mm-hmm. And it's nice. They are going and recruiting other people to come and join this program. And it almost like you see this happening and it makes you cry because you're like, oh my gosh, we brought this to the school. Like we made this happen.
I love hearing, that growth in leadership that your students are experiencing once they've gone through Project Stir. I'm sure that will serve them really well throughout life. And How many students did you choose for the pilot program, and how did you pick them?
So at first, so for the one training, we had 5 students with disabilities and 5 students without. And then
we started off with that many, and then we actually kept getting more and more. We ended up with 15 students going to that first initial training, and it was basically split in half.
Yeah.
On accident, of students with and without disabilities. And obviously, the students that went didn't know who had the disabilities and who did not. So that was really cool to see too. Like we said, we picked these students by asking our coworkers, seeing who would be a good leader, and also who might benefit from coming out of their shell more, who might need to be around these leaders and learn this advocacy training.
So what have you noticed in the students since they participated in the program? Has there been any like really big ahas outside of what you've already shared?
So, like we said, I think that the biggest thing is the community that has been built from this club. They are saying hi to everyone in the hallway. Everybody is included in everything. The inclusion has been taken to another level where just talking about inclusion, it's not everybody's doing everything. It's everybody has been thought of now. Everybody's included in some sort of way. And
Yeah, they're just gaining those leadership experiences. And they're willing to try anything. And it's everybody's talking about it also. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. It's like, oh, you're in Project Stir? Oh, you're in Project Stir? Where are you guys going next? Like, what are you guys doing next? Like, how do I join? It's exciting. They talk about it like it's the basketball team. So, now that's exciting.
Yeah, that is really exciting. And from my limited experience with high school students, a lot of them I feel aren't that outgoing in those social situations always. And so it's really, really awesome to hear about how Project Stir has helped kind of change that social fabric, if you would, for those participants. So we understand that as part of the pilot program, the students had to develop a leadership team at the school. So could you share just a little bit about the things they have done, they are doing, and maybe some potential plans they have for the future?
Sure. So at first, we were kind of meeting quietly. We didn't know what the club was going to look like. We had that plan from our training, but we still wanted to come back to the school, have a few meetings, and really get a good foundation before we started inviting more and more people into the group. So we had been meeting, doing some reflecting on what we learned. We presented at a couple of conferences, which was really cool. And then the momentum really started to build. We went to Synergy, which was so fun. We went to 2 of the presenters there, and we presented ourselves. And then at the end of the day, there was a dance party, and it was just so fun. We were dancing with everybody there and just having the best time. After Synergy, we did a couple more conferences, traveling to Columbus. We had a guest speaker come in, my friend Mateo from high school. He uses an AAC device to speak. So he came in and he travels all around the world giving presentations. He's amazing. He's actually in a movie on Disney Plus called Camp Alec. Super cool. Gotta check it out. So he came in and the students they loved Mateo. Everybody loves Mateo, but they just don't interact. We have a student, Nico, who speaks with an AAC device too, but they learned how to interact with somebody with an AAC. So that was really cool. We've had movie nights. We showed our first movie was another movie on Disney Plus, Out of My Mind. So we showed that as a fundraiser in our building. We had a ton of kids come. We had snacks, popped popcorn, and just enjoyed that. We did a couple more conferences, and then lots of conferences. And our latest conference was actually in Kansas City. Going to the conference in Columbus opened this huge door for this opportunity to go to Kansas City and share what we've been doing this year. And it was just the most amazing experience. Students rode on a plane for the first time. Students got away from their parents for the first time. They were in a hotel for the first time. And it was really, especially one of our students, it was his senior trip. And it was the absolute best. They presented, they just bonded. And at Kansas City, we met the Habibs, who I know you've interviewed. And we learned about their movie, The Ride Ahead. And we fell in love with them. We were like, we have to have another movie night. So we were in contact with Dan, and we brought The Ride Ahead back to Garrett Morgan, and we had our second movie night, and it was even better than the first. It was so fun. And that's kind of mostly what we did this year. We did a lot more, but there's just so much to talk about.
It was a jam-packed first year.
Jam-packed.
I'm looking forward to this year already. She's going to be keeping me busy.
Sure.
Yeah. Sounds like they've already done quite the circuit on conferences, which that is such a really cool experience to get at that young age, and having gotten to see them at the Kansas City conference, I was very impressed with how they presented, how they shared leadership for the presentation. It was really inspiring. So, Charting the Life course is incorporated throughout the Project STIR curriculum. So how have your students used a Charting the Life course, and what impact have you seen it have on them?
So, like I said before, we have used the life trajectory in our meetings. We started making posters and thinking about what they want out of life, what they don't want out of life, what their goals are, short-term and long-term. And it was interesting to see how diverse, even though everybody has this unity in Project STIR, everybody kind of wants something different out of life. So that was interesting for sure.
That's awesome. And that really mirrors what I've experienced when bringing a LifeCourse to people like that, seeing that variety of life, those desires for the good life and vision. That's great. So considering this experience, how has it changed you as an educator?
Sure. So for myself, watching these students become the leaders that they have become, I feel that I've become a better leader and teacher myself. I've learned when to take the reins on situations and when to just let them have their moment and let them take the lead. So it taught me how to become a resource instead of the lead.
And I think for me, it's for working with, just having my past of working with students with disabilities, and then just having, as a school leader, just having this opportunity to put this in, my building. It's, don't put limits on students ever. Let them decide, because you don't know what they can do. Yeah, give them the opportunity, and let them surprise you.
I love to hear those insights that you have come away from through doing Project STIR. Thank you for sharing those. That is fantastic. So I'd love to hear from you both. What is your favorite Charting the Life course saying, if you have one?
I can't say that we have a favorite right now. We're still learning about Charting the Life course. I've been chatting with a couple ambassadors, and they're going to be working with us this school year to incorporate more tools into our meetings. I think that we focused mostly this school year, though, on being person-centered. Students learned the verbiage for speaking to people with disabilities and about people with disabilities and focusing on being person-centered.
Yeah, I mean, language is such a huge part of this movement. So that makes sense to kind of lay down as the foundation level. So moving on from favorite saying, what would you say your favorite maybe tool is, or the tool you've used the most?
Definitely we've used the life trajectory the most, but I think that this next year, I want our focus to be more on the STAR and incorporating that into our meetings.
Awesome. And then finally, if you wouldn't mind sharing, what is one actionable tip that you could give to a student transitioning into the new school year?
I think, especially for an incoming ninth grader or just somebody joining a new school, take the risk, join a club, be part of a team, be part of a club, have something to look forward to, be part of something in high school. What do you think?
And I think I agree. And when you find that club that you want to be a part of, give it your all and fully commit to it and watch yourself grow.
Great advice. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, Nancy and Emily. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to hear more fantastic things about Project STIR in your high school going forward.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much for having us on here.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to Showcase 365. Please share this podcast with friends, family, and anyone you know who would love to learn more about creating their good life with charting the LifeCourse framework and tools. Remember, you can always find tools and resources on our website, lifecoursenexus.com. We hope you join us next month. Thanks.